Good day, everyone. Today we will talk about a touchy subject, what people call parental sacrifice. You know, one of the things people always say about parenthood is parents sacrifice everything for their children. You hear it all the time. Movies, TV, family gatherings. People say it like it's a law of the universe. But if you take a closer look, philosophically, ethically, psychologically, this claim, it just kind of collapses. Think about it. Can you really sacrifice for someone you voluntarily chose to bring into existence? I mean, you chose to create this human being. They didn't ask for it. They had no say, no vote. They were just made. And then suddenly, when you provide food, shelter, guidance, love, you're a martyr? Really? That's not sacrifice. That's the predictable consequence of a decision you made. I like to think about it like this. If someone adopts a pet, they feed it, take care of it, give it a home, and if they go around saying, "Look at me, I sacrificed everything for this dog," people would raise an eyebrow, right? Yet somehow, with children, it's flipped. The parent is automatically a hero, a saint, someone to be worshipped. And all those common phrases, "I gave up my dreams for my child," or "I worked 3 jobs to give them a better life." Sure, maybe that's effort. Sure, that's work. But let's not pretend it's something morally heroic. You chose this. That effort is part of the package, not a selfless act. And if we're being honest, a lot of that effort isn't really for the child anyway. It's for you. You're investing in emotional security, in future loyalty, in a living retirement plan. Calling it sacrifice is how you justify your own captivity, how you make your own exploitation feel noble. And here's the part most people never talk about. You're not saving the human you create from some metaphysical hell. There's no line of souls waiting for you to get sticky and bring them here. Creating someone is not a favor. It's not generosity. You're creating needs and exposing them to danger, vulnerability, suffering, simply by making them exist. We need to consider the following question. Why do people even have kids? For sure, it is never for the child. It's for themselves, to feel complete, to meet cultural or religious expectations, to secure emotional validation, to leave a legacy, to fix themselves. The prospective child, usually just an afterthought, just something to be used for your entertainment. And when things get hard, and they always do, the struggle magically becomes proof of love. But look around. Millions of non-parents deal with stress, sleep deprivation, financial pressure, career compromises. Parenting doesn't invent these struggles. You opted in. You chose the scenario that generates them. There's no nobility in voluntarily walking into difficulty and then acting like a martyr. And here's something that people don't talk about enough. Much of what we call sacrifice is really transactional. Parents hope for loyalty, gratitude, obedience, something in return. The child never consented, never agreed to this deal, yet the expectation is there from day one. True sacrifice, real, rigorous, ethical sacrifice, looks very different. You give without expecting anything back. You give freely and without coercion. Parental sacrifice fails on every single count. And it becomes a tool, a weapon, a way to control the child, to guilt them, to shut down their complaints. If the parent suffered, the child must obey. If the parent worked hard, the child must conform. That's not love. That's power. Culture reinforces it everywhere. Movies, literature, holidays, religion, mothers sanctified, fathers glorified. But do not even dare to question it. You will be labeled ungrateful, immoral, rebellious. But think about it. This unquestioned reverence is dangerous. It gives power to those who made the choice to create, and it silences those who had no choice. We need to rethink the ethics of reproduction. You create a problem, provide the solution, and want to be called a hero. First, You bring a person into a world where suffering is guaranteed. Second, you provide food, shelter, affection, and then call it love, sacrifice, or heroism. Third, you're praised, rewarded, and seen as noble, when in fact you created the very condition you now take credit for solving. If that were any other context, say injuring someone just to nurse them back to health, it would be considered twisted, not noble. But because it's parenthood, it gets sanctified. Providing for a dependent being is not a moral elevation, it's responsibility. Voluntarily taking on a role and doing the basic duties it entails, that's accountability. That's not sacrifice. We have to dismantle this myth. Parenthood is not sacrifice, it's responsibility. And responsibility should never be used as a shield for power, guilt, or praise from someone who never asked to be part of the arrangement in the first place.